Hey, welcome to my channel. Today's video, telling yourself another story, changing the narrative in order to change your life. The first thing I want to say about changing the narrative is change it for the inside. Change it because it feels better. Change it because why the hell not? Why carry on with the story you're telling yourself if it's negative? Why not change it? But don't change it and drag along your kind of manifestation with you, if you know what I mean. So change it to be changed on the inside, and then the outside, as I talk about a lot at the moment, will catch up. We'll catch up naturally with what's going on the inside. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. First of all, before I start, I'm an author and I'm a coach. My books are all available on Amazon and my coaching is available on my website. Most of my coaching is based around self-concept. I do offer manifestation coaching as well. I just find that the majority of the people that come to me, it's a mix of kind of self-concept with a little bit of manifestation thrown in there. But you know, whatever it is that you need, just if you're not sure, just email me first and we'll have a little chat. And if you think I'm going to be good for you, awesome. And if you don't, that's fine too. Okay, right. What am I talking about? Okay, we tell ourselves a story, don't we? We see something on the outside and then we create a narrative that goes with what we see on the outside. Not taking into account that the reason we're seeing it on the outside is because we've created it on the inside. So we're not taking that into account. We create a narrative and we say this is probably happening because of this, and this person probably thinks this, and I'm not getting this job because of this, and this, whatever it is. We start creating a narrative, and when we create a narrative, we create an energy, and the energy within is that narrative. So we're just going to see more and more evidence that reality is going to show back to us based on what we're feeling. Like as Neville said, it's in the feeling, you know. It's all about, feeling is the secret, and that is it. In a nutshell, feeling is the secret. So why not change the story? Why not? It's not going to do you any harm, but you're changing it for you. So you're changing it to feel better. You are not changing it to see a change on the outside. This is what holds us back. We do everything to see a change on the outside. So we're constantly looking, we're constantly observing and seeing that we don't have it, and that the 3D is still the same as it was yesterday. And that's not what this is about. It's about changing your state. It's moving through states, moving into a different feeling state about something. If you start telling yourself another story, you are instructing your subconscious basically, and you are changing your subconscious programming. So the story that you're telling yourself at the moment is going in there into your subconscious, and it's creating within your subconscious. So then it's being shown back to you. If you change the instruction, so by changing the narrative, that's what you're doing. You're changing instructions, because all of the time we are instructing our subconscious, all of the time, but we don't even bloody know it. So we don't realize it. So everything we say, and think of all the negative things that we say during a day, that's going in there into the subconscious, and it's another instruction, and another instruction, another instruction. So we need to become a little bit conscious of what we are saying to ourselves, what our self-talk is. We definitely need to be conscious of that to a point, and we need to pull ourselves back when we start dropping into old stories and old, just reinforcing what we're seeing at the moment. Why reinforce it? Why reinforce the 3D that you can see that you don't like? Look at it that way. Doesn't it seem crazy then to keep telling yourself that story because you're just going to keep seeing it? Why not tell yourself another story? The more you tell yourself another story, you've heard of people that lie a lot, and they lie so much that they cannot remember what is the truth and what is a lie. They can't remember. So what started off as a lie and they knew was a lie, they now think is the truth, because they've convinced themselves that all you're doing is talking to your subconscious, all you're doing, and you are creating another story in order for your subconscious to have a different reference point, but you're doing it to feel better. So you're doing it to raise your vibration, you change your feeling state basically. That is all you're doing. To help you to do this and to get into a better feeling state and to change stories, a really good little exercise to do is to find a memory within. And I got this from years ago. I had some hypnotherapy, some gamma reprogramming, and she did this with me, and it's really effective. And I've sort of taken that on. I kind of forgotten about it, but thought about it again recently. So, and she was into this actually, or she never said it, but I knew she was by what she was saying. And so she's saying, find a memory from back in the day, something either where you made you had an achievement, you made an achievement, can't think of the right phrase now, you achieved something or you were just really happy, find a memory. And I found this memory which just popped up in my head, and it wasn't an achievement, it's just when I was younger, going on holiday, and my mum and dad didn't have much money. So my older auntie, my mum's auntie, she lived near to the coast, so we would go and stay there for a week, and then we'd do day trips from there. And I loved going there. She was just the best person ever. Everyone loved her. Auntie Pearl, she was called. And I got such fond memories of her. And my memory was being led in bed at night and hearing her and my mum chatting. I couldn't really make out what they were talking about, but I found it really comforting. Just something really lovely about it. And when we would leave, I'd be so upset. I would just be in tears, like trying to hold them back in the back of the car, because it was just such a lovely week experience. She just made the week's experience was just so lovely. She would just make it so amazing. And it was like, I thought it was just the best holiday ever. I just didn't know we were doing it because mum and dad didn't have much money. I know that now, but I didn't know that at the time. So I would go back there and it would just feel just warm and lovely. And so that was my memory. So it can be any memory. It doesn't have to be an achievement. It just can be the loveliest memory that you have. And you just go there for a couple of minutes and it immediately raises your vibration. That's what I'm going to say. Raises your vibration. But what it does is just lifts your mood, really. Just lifts your mood in the moment. And you can use that when you're feeling a bit crap, or you can just use it daily. It's a good one just to use daily if you can get into the habit of it. I'm not great at habitual things. I'm good at the bad ones, but not necessarily the good ones. And that's why really affirmations aren't the best thing for me. I do use them, I use the emotionless ones, but probably not as regularly as would be more beneficial to me, but I'm just not great at that kind of thing. But so either use it when you're feeling a bit low or your vibration is a bit low. Your vibration is just your feeling state. So if your feeling state, you wake up and you feel a bit like bleh, use it then. It's really, really useful, and literally it's 2 minutes, takes you back to a lovely memory, and it does something, changes your feeling state in the moment. So when we're talking about, so that really helps you then to go and change your narrative on certain subjects. So if you're stuck in a job that you don't like and the people around you are annoying and whatever, and you're always talking to yourself about that, and the narrative you've got is, oh, she's a pain because this, and he's a pain because that, and he doesn't appreciate me, you're going to get more of that. Well, why not change the story just because you will feel better? If you change the story just to make yourself feel better, then you're not going to be bothered so much about what's going on around you, because you're telling yourself different stories. So the most energy that you're in, your dominant energy, is of the new story. So you are going to see bits of that. You might see it as a gradual change. You might see it as a massive change. I spoke about this in the video that I think I will have probably uploaded now. And it was, I was talking about clarity of intention, and I really wanted to get clarity of where I wanted to stay in the office complex that I was in, or whether I wanted to move on. And at that moment I wasn't particularly happy there. There was a lot of stuff that had changed and I didn't particularly like it, because I've been there for 12 years, and you get set in what you like, don't you? And so I was telling myself this story, oh yeah, but this, and they don't get involved, and blah, 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 blah. And then I noticed I was doing it, and I thought, ideally I would stay here, but as the way things are at the moment, I don't know if I want to. Okay, give me clarity, do I want to stay here? So that's the clarity I asked for, whatever I don't know what I'm talking to. And that's what I did. And then within a couple of days, I had a conversation with one of the new girls, and I thought, she's all right actually. And then somebody else started getting on with her, started then having much more conversation with the two owners of the complex that I hadn't had in like 12 years. It all started to happen. So I started then and I had at that point started telling myself, I can see why I feel like this, because I'm allowing myself to think, but this and but that. I just dropped into that and I stopped it. I immediately just stopped doing that. I didn't really so much start telling myself a new story because I didn't have time. I just stopped telling myself the old story, and then the new story kicked in right away. I had immediate clarity that I wanted to stay there. Then I manifested a new office, blah, 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 blah. But basically, either stop telling yourself those old, outdated, stories that mean nothing, that are just the past. So stop doing it, and that will change it, or start telling yourself a new story. If you struggle with a new story, just stop telling yourself the old story. Either way, it's very effective, and that was really effective. Like I said, it was a couple of days, and then I'm in this new office now. I really have got my love back for it there. I really have, like massively. I said to my mum the other day, my love for that place has come back, like big time. And it went for a bit, it's definitely come back. So I feel great being there. I'm paying a minuscule amount of rent compared to what I was paying before, and everything has worked out. But again, I had noticed, and even I was coaches in this, talks to people about this, can allow myself to slip into a story, not really notice that I'm doing it. I wasn't doing it that often. That's the thing with me, because I don't do it that often, because I'm not constantly in it, and I've really broken that cycle of ever doing that. I never do that. I don't notice so often of when I am doing it, but I did then notice. I thought, oh God, stop. And I could find it easy just to stop when I notice it, but it's the noticing it. Tell yourself something different to feel better, to lift your feeling state, to move into another state, and that is when changes start to happen. But don't do it for the changes. That's the key. Do not do it for the changes. Just do it for you. Do it to make you feel better, and that's it. And then everything else changes pretty damn fast when you do that. Anyway, I hope this video was useful, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd love for you to do that.